Kit, it was a great, solid performance against Crystal Palace in the last of the pre-season friendlies, but obviously it came with a bit of a blow in the form of Luke Garbutt's injury.
Yeah, very, very disappointed, obviously, for us and firstly for Luke. He was having a real solid game on his debut. Sort of pretty innocuous, blocked a cross from Wilfried Zaha. Didn't think too much of it, and obviously it was quite painful, and he ended up having to go off. And after all the scans and the assessments, he's going to be out for a little while now, which is a real blow for the lad and a blow for us, because we'd worked hard to get him in, and everyone at the football club was so delighted to have got his signature on loan. So it's a real shame, but these things happen. We'll crack on.
And in terms of the rest of the squad, how is everybody feeling? I know that there are the longer term injuries of Scott Parker being out. Fernando, who only joined you late in pre-season, has also had a little operation. Yeah, that's right. He came back from his international games, Fernando, and started training with us, but then felt the problem straight away, so he's gone and had an operation now. But it's quite a quick recovery, so he should be sort of back running 10 days and sort of training just after that. So he shouldn't be too far away. And apart from that, everybody else sort of fit and healthy? Pretty much. Was the Georgie Williams longer term one, Adam Taggart's slight hamstring at the moment, which is sort of running on a little bit, but won't be too much longer, I wouldn't think. Then a couple of little niggles which we're waiting to see on for tomorrow, but they're very, very close. He made his first appearance at Craven Cottage on Saturday, and it was probably his last appearance for the season, certainly. Can you give us an update on Kostas Mitroglou and where he is now? Yeah, well, his stance has always been the same. Kostas, he didn't want to play in the Championship, and I was well aware of that and understood that. So it looks like hopefully his loan deal to Benfica will go through and actually all be sorted. And he'll be there for the season. He came back again. He was away on international duty, so he came back late. We took him over to Austria with us, and he worked very hard. And I think he's enjoyed the training. And he said to one of the fitness guys, "If you get promoted, I'd like to come back and play in the Premier League with Fulham." So hopefully that'll be the case. Moving on to Saturday, I know that you went to watch Cardiff play against Bournemouth last week. What are you expecting from them? Yeah, a good side, very strong, very solid, got a physical presence about them, and they got some quality players. So it'll be a tough game, and obviously they're at home, it'll be a big crowd, very partisan crowd, so it'd be hard for us, but also I looked at them and I was impressed with the way they played and some of their movement and some of the quality footballers they got, but I also looked at them and thought there's ways that we can get at them, we can hurt them, and we can cause them problems. So we've got like a dual game plan, if you want, to try and sort of nullify their main threats, of which they've got several, and try and exploit a few of their weaknesses as well. Obviously, points are incredibly important, but given the start from last season, how important is it to get off to a good start this season for the psychological confidence that comes with getting off to a good start? Yeah, that's right. No, it's always nice and sort of gives you that little bit of reassurance to get a few points on the board very early, and that's what we'd like to do. We're all set to go and get a positive result up at Cardiff. If it doesn't go away, it's far from the end of the world, but we want to get a decent start over the first, obviously when I took over after 7 games last year, we had 1 point, so I'd certainly be targeting a lot more points on the board than that after 7 games played. There's still a fair amount of time left in the transfer window. Are we looking at Kit Symons' squad now as being still work to be done in terms of acquisitions, bringing people in, and potentially some of the younger players going out on loan? I think quite possibly there'll be a fair bit of movement still to come. So I think it's still a work in progress. I've been delighted with the acquisitions we've made this close season, and the work that we've got out of the players and we've done with them. It's been brilliant as far as I'm concerned. I'm really, really pleased. But like I say, if ever we can look to improve, either the quality within our squad and then certain things that we do with them, I'll always look to do that. I think if once you sort of sit back and you're too pleased with what you got, and people catch up with you and overtake you, so we need to keep pushing and keep improving all the time. Just a final word on the younger players. There's lots of talk on Twitter about Emerson and Musa and Marcus all coming to the end of their contracts at the end of this season. Can you give us an update on that and how negotiations are progressing?
Yeah, well, we've all three players have been spoken to, and their representatives. We'd like to offer them new deals and extend their time here at Fulham. Hopefully that will be the case. None of the three have signed as of yet. Hopefully some or all of them will do in the very, very near future. But it becomes quite difficult if you get players in the last year of the contract and they make a decision they don't want to be here. And I understand that happens sometimes, but
obviously it happened with Pat Roberts, and I guess that's where the concerns come from.
Similar to the Pat Roberts situation exactly there. Now with Pat Roberts, that was the case. He wasn't going to sign, but we did the right thing for the football club and we got a good deal out of it. So we were happy enough. Sad to lose one of our bright young talents, but sometimes these things happen, and if they don't want to sign for us, we can't make them. It's as simple as that. So we need to make sure we try and do the right thing for the football club. Ideally, the young players or all players will see this as a great place for them to be, and a great platform and a great opportunity for them to apply their trade and to learn and develop, and then become regular first team players, which is what we'd all love. As many players as possible that have come through our academy that are playing regularly in our first team. Obviously we've got Marcus, Lass, Corley, who had a lot of game time last year, and a lot of the other young boys sort of played quite a bit of football too. So it is a brilliant football club to be at for young players and older players alike. All the new signings, for example, settled really, really well, and have all stated how much they've been impressed with the football club as a whole and the quality of people we got working here with us.
The atmosphere around is fantastic. Everybody's very buoyant and very upbeat. That must give you great confidence and delight going into the first game of the season. Everybody's excited. Yeah,
it's really good. I mean, I think also if you can't enjoy pre-season, you're struggling. So but it's great. It couldn't have gone better, really. Although the only game we sort of lost was a very narrow defeat to Frankfurt. Sometimes that's not a bad thing either. If we'd been unbeaten maybe in pre-season, you might get too complacent or something. So I always put a positive slant on things, and I've been delighted with the way it's gone. And as you say, there's a genuine excitement around the place. I'm excited certainly, and I think I just look at other people and the staff around Motspur Park and the players. I can sense an excitement from them and a genuine belief within them, and that's great, and that's what we want.
Can't wait now. We wish you luck.
Brilliant, thank you. Cheers.